Hi, it is me, the holistic healer, here again with you today to talk to you a little bit about the energies that are going on the planet right now, some evolving that I've done myself, and to try to help you transcend into your highest and best potential for 2018. So, first of all, let me start by saying if you're here, if you're watching this video, it is because you have been pulled here by your guides and angels. Believe that. Trust that. This is something that you need to hear for your unique soul journey. So, my guess is a lot of this will very much resonate with you. I want you to listen to the words that I speak, and I want you to, as much as you possibly can, please try to look at the bigger picture. Please try to feel the truth in all of this, okay? So it is such a pivotal time right now for humanity, and there's so many of us that are taking a totally different path than we even thought we were going to be taking 2 weeks ago. So what happened? 2 weeks ago, everyone was talking so much about how we were going to come into 2018, and then we're just going to automatically transition into this beautiful year. And we're doing that. There's just been a pause on that energetically, coming from the higher realms. So basically what happened was, because of all of the collective negativity that's been on Earth in 2016, especially 2017, and now going into 2018, you guys, we are, as a collective energy, we are working through thousands and thousands and thousands of years of darkness and self-doubt and judgment, and not being in our truth, and not being able to be in our truth and be who we are, and not fully feel like we trust who and what we are. So if you think about each one of us and our individual souls and the mission that we have been on, we've come to Earth many, many times to have experiences, to complete soul missions, to complete soul lessons, to some of us in this lifetime have signed up to come here to be an anchor for New Earth, for the new age. I don't like to use that word, but it truly is a new dawning of a new age. I use that term very loosely, though, because I don't necessarily believe in any of the new age things. That's my journey. That's me personally. Can you guys see that energy down at the bottom of the video? That's amazing. I don't know what that is. That's crazy. Like, I can see that in here in person. I don't know. It must be one of my guides or something. I'm not sure. So anyways, we apparently have visitors with us today. So let's keep going here. I know sometimes I get off track, and that's what happens to a lot of us lately, is we're having a really hard time staying focused. So 2016 is what a lot of spiritual people are calling the year of the caterpillar, because if you think about 2 years ago what you were doing, you were crawling around, probably, maybe, some of you were awake, some of you were not, just kind of crawling around, crawling through life, not even realizing really how big your mission here was, or maybe not even recognizing what it was at that point. So then we got into 2017, and then things on Earth changed significantly. We started really evolving as a species, like even more than our human brains can even comprehend. Anybody on the planet, like, none of us here can completely comprehend it. Some of us know and understand what's happening, and why, but I mean, it's huge. So we go through 2017, and that's being called the year of the cocoon. So if you think about 2017, there was so much that we all were shown that was not for our highest and best, right? So in that, we had a lot of relationships end abruptly. We had a lot of situations in our lives that we thought would never, come to an end. The other thing is that we had a lot of hurts, a lot of traumas, a lot of dramas, blah 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 blah. A lot of constant, doing this because we're, going through the whirlwind, and then we figure that out, and then we're going along smoothly for a little bit, and then bam, again, we get hit again. Then we go along smooth, we get hit again and again and again. And some people literally were bam, 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 dodging bullets all year long. And I am one of them that was dodging bullets most of the year. But I know and understand, and I believed with all of my heart and all of my soul that that was happening to me because those people and those situations absolutely could not make the journey with me when I came out of the cocoon in 2018. They absolutely were not for my highest and best evolution. It absolutely would not be in alignment with my soul's mission. So as that stuff happened, I learned to let it be, let it flow, let it ride. And I know and I trusted that as each one of those situations would arise, and I would let people go out of my life that I didn't really want to let go, but I knew I had to, at least for now. It doesn't mean that they may not come back in. What it means is the whole year when I was in my cocoon, I kept raising my frequencies. I kept learning. I kept growing. I kept expanding who and what I was. I kept pulling in my bigger mission. And 2017 was the best year so far for holistic healing. I started holistic healing in 2012, and it took me all of 2012, 13, 14, 15, and part of 16 to finally have people that were awake and aware enough to understand what it was. Because when I first opened that, I have been my whole life. Like, I'm a little bit ahead of the vibe on earth. So the things that are coming to me, the wisdom and the feelings that I'm getting, typically most of humanity doesn't understand yet, doesn't believe yet, doesn't resonate with that yet. So I'm kind of like my soul is kind of like a spiritual preparer, so to speak. So I tend to come into this stuff sometimes several years before other people acknowledge it. So in 2017, finally, for me, people were understanding the importance of herbal medicine, understanding the importance of essential oils and plant vibrations and frequencies, and keeping our mind, body, and soul in a whole healing. Okay? So when I first started that, people laughed at me. People were like, herbs don't work. Well, our society teaches us that, doesn't it? It teaches us those beliefs. So I had to really transcend from that. And I spent a lot of years educating on it. And, little by little, the very first herb class that I had 2 people come. And I kept having them, and I kept having them, and I kept teaching about essential oils, and I kept teaching about herbs, and I kept teaching about spirituality and following the calling of your soul. And eventually it finally caught on, and then it's like, oh, okay, there you guys are. You're finally here with me. Welcome. So for me, with all that said, for me, 2017 was that year where I was in my cocoon, but yet everybody else around me finally caught up because I was in that cocoon. So for me, it was great that way. but I did lose a lot of people in my life that I never ever thought I would lose. But when they went out of my life, I said, thank you, because I knew. And then a lot of them, like, I really felt deep within my being that it was so and it needed to happen. So some of them I was, teetering on, do I let them go out of my life or do I keep them? Some of them universe would choose for me. And then I would go, okay, I hear you. And it wasn't until I surrendered to the universe every time that I was shown truth. So doing all the work that I did in 2017, that led me to this, what I thought I knew, that when 2018 comes, that's going to be known as the year of the butterfly. So in November and December, I spent a lot of time really truly trying my best to anchor in this rebirth of myself and who I am. So that during 2017, I can truly step into my full divine potential. Okay, that's been my plan all of 2017. And I know most of you watching this probably resonate with this. This is probably exactly what you've been doing too. But what happened was we went into 2018, and because in order to truly transcend, you guys, in order to truly step into who and what we are at a soul level and to totally and completely do what we came here to earth to do, along with that comes, sorry, my phone's ringing. Along with that comes very, very, very deep seated beliefs and subconscious programming that needs to be rewired big time. So for me, in my specific journey, I had a lot of childhood traumas, a lot. And I've spent a lot of the last years since my awakening working through those and healing those. And as things come up, you guys, our soul energy is in layers, right? So as situations come up, as things come to your mind, or like events from when you were a kid or young adult or whatever, as these traumas and hard times come up and you haven't thought of it, maybe you haven't thought of it in like 10 years or something. And all of a sudden one day you're thinking about it and you're going, oh, why the heck am I thinking about this? I mean, that happened to me a long time ago. That's a blessing. Recognize that. Meditate on that. Go deep. Go within. Find out why it's coming up, because the odds are is it's coming up because your being is ready to heal and release that. And the more you heal and release within yourself and truly just literally let it come up, let yourself feel it. You cannot heal something unless you feel it and go through it. And that's the problem, that where we get stuck as humans, is we do not want to feel that. It's horrible. It does not feel good to relive traumas that you went through as a kid. And you don't have to necessarily relive all of it, but it's really, really important for you to transmute that. And that's why it's coming up. Like your brain and all of your energy systems around you, and depending on your beliefs, there can be up to 5 different energy bodies around you. And all the energy bodies around you are constantly like a computer, kind of gauging and scanning to see, where are we at? Where are we at? What are we doing? So when something like that gets grabbed and brought to the forefront of your mind, that's because you, somewhere in your being, are ready to hit that head on. Okay? And that's when people come to me and we have sessions and I help them to work through that, to transcend that, to really truly heal that piece of themselves. Where it gets tricky though is when these things come up, depending on our belief systems that we have, depending on our beliefs about ourselves, depending on our beliefs about the divine or higher realms, depending on what we think we know, it can get very, very dangerous. And as human beings, lately, the last probably 5 days, there's been some very nasty energy on the planet that's affecting people that are empathic. I, for one, had the darkest day of all of my existence in this lifetime yesterday. Not because horrible things were happening to me yesterday, because I was reliving some childhood horrible, horrible traumas that I went through. And some of them were so graphic in nature due to the situation going on with my brother right now. For those that aren't aware, I have 2 siblings that I have already transitioned due to drug overdose. And my brother that's been missing since November of 2017, I have pretty much known for quite some time that he is transitioned to. How do I know that? Because I have a very close bond with the spirit realms, with the angelic realm, and I'm very, very, very in touch with my own soul. So I literally felt it when he passed. I just didn't realize it at the time. But I have been doing detective work for a month now, and I've put a lot of puzzle pieces together. And yesterday, everything was coming to the surface. And part of that is because we're on the planet right now. We're kind of going through, I'm trying to explain this in human terms. We're kind of going through like a crossing over of like a double layer of energies. So like the energies of 2017, which is in the collective, we're kind of moving out of the planet as we're the planet was kind of pulling in these new, more empowering energies. But on a collective level and on a personal level, for so many the last few days, that new energy is stuck and it can't come in because we haven't quite worked through what we need to work through in order to truly move into the new energy. So anybody that's been sitting there for days now wondering, I have this terrible dark feeling inside myself and I just don't feel good about things and I don't know why, and you can't place it, that's why. So people that are empathic and people that are sensitive are feeling this to the core the last few days. But here's the trick. It's really, really, really important for every one of us to truly, truly, truly clear out the old energies, guys. We need to do that. We need to clear spaces, clear our homes, clear our cars. We need to get rid of the energy in our lives that is not working anymore. And then we need to truly, truly, as these things are coming up, let yourself work through it. Don't get over it. Get through it. Because I promise you, if you can go deeper, if you still don't know what it is, go deeper again. If you still can't figure it out, surrender some more. Because if you are feeling this way, I promise you, it is for a reason. Your being is trying to tell you. But here's the thing, a lot of this energy that's trying to be transmuted is family. It's family energy. It's generations and generations and generations and generations of family energy and situations that you've been through in your being with your family. And as you might be aware, every single one of us is literally energetically connected to those that we have strong soul contracts with. So any darkness you're feeling, your family members feel that too. They may not recognize it, and you may not recognize feeling theirs, but it's there. Picture yourself as a tree. Think of your family tree, right? So here I am in my family tree, and I'm standing here, and my body's the trunk, and then I have my roots that go down into the earth, and that's my roots. That's my energy roots, right? And what do tree roots do? They go down and they emerge and they twist and they expand underneath the earth, right? And then what's standing next to me but another tree? There's my brother. Here's another tree. This is my other brother. Here's another tree. There's my sister. There's my mom. There's my daughter. There's so-and-so. And it keeps going. And what do you think their roots are doing? Their roots are going down into the earth and intermingling with mine as mine are intermingling with theirs. So whether your family member is here or on the other side, it doesn't matter. You are connected. So with the situation that has been happening with my brother, I'm using myself as an example, and I really hope that you guys can convert this into the situations in your own life, because I want to see you guys transcend here, okay? So for myself, trying to deal with the energy of what I know in my soul happened to my brother, the visions I've seen, the things that I've worked with 2 different mediums in the last week, both of them have told me the exact same story. One of them was in Singapore, one of them in the United States. Neither of them ever talked to each other. None of it is like that. This is literally coming straight from the source. I don't care who believes me. So, in knowing all of that and being connected to my brother as I am, I yesterday got up and I literally could not pull myself out of, I couldn't stop thinking about the actual act of him being killed, actually what happened to him. I could not get that to go away. And so that had been going on for a couple days. So then no matter what I tried to do, I couldn't think about anything else. I can't move forward from it. And when that happens, I know that I have to go deeper, that there's a reason why I can't clear it. I'm really good at clearing stuff. So when I can't, no matter what, it means that I am missing something. So all of a sudden yesterday morning, after a couple days of just feeling this heaviness and trying to transmute the actual act of what I know happened to him, all of a sudden all these memories of him and I and all of our other siblings as children would not stop coming to the surface, because my brother suffered greatly in this lifetime. Even as kids on the bus, I watched people beat him because he was different and pick on him because he was so super intelligent that he never ever had a very easy time connecting with any humans ever. And as an empath, when I was a child, I always felt so sorry for my brother. And In fact, one day on the bus, I had had enough. I had watched people beating on him for weeks. As soon as he'd get on the bus, they'd start. And I'd gone to my mom and I'd gone to adults, and nobody was really doing anything about it. The bus driver, I could see him looking in his mirror and he could see it, but nothing was done. So one day, this kid gets on the bus and he's heading back, and I knew what he was going to do. He was going to go back to the back of the bus and he was going to pound on my brother like he did. And my brother always would sit in the seat and he would take it, and he wouldn't do anything about it. He would just sit there and take it. And one day I couldn't take it anymore, and I stood up and I went back there, and I wasn't allowed in the back. And I went back there and I unleashed on these kids. Was I right for doing that? Probably not. But I tell you that story because it's all part of this. So it was really hard for me to watch my brother during his whole life. There's a lot of memories and a lot of things coming up where I've always felt this deep sorrow for my brother. I always wanted him to be able to transcend, you know, and he just never could. So knowing what I know about his fate and how he exited the planet, made all of that come up for me. So yesterday morning, I literally could not feel my own light. It was so dark and so heavy, and I literally started to question everything. I questioned everything. I messaged with my soul sister, Tanya, and I told her, I'm done. I don't believe in any of this bullshit anymore. How the fuck am I going to sit and suffer like this, and my brother sit and suffer like this, even though I am good? I give, I do, I'm kind, I do whatever I can for humanity, but yet I have to still keep going through this shit? Like, I understand back in the day before I knew better, probably some of the stuff I went through was probably karma. But I have done nothing but good works for years. Why do I have to keep suffering like this? Why do I have to keep going through this? And the more those thoughts looped in my mind, the darker it got. And then I kept going to a darker place and a darker place and a darker place. And eventually I got myself to a place after all this spiraling I was doing. I brought myself to a place where I went, oh my God, I can't breathe. I literally laid in my chair and I put my hands up and I said, God, please help me. God, please help me. And I cried for 3 hours. I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried. But when I said, God, please help me, Michael, please help me, Metatron, Jesus, please help me. Within 5 minutes, and I'm not kidding, within 5 freaking minutes, I was standing there. I'm certain I must have went outside of my body. I was standing there and Jesus was standing like this, and I placed my hands in his, and he asked me, are you done? And I just thought, am I done? Next thing I know, there's so much white light and love all surrounding me, like surrounding me. And there was an angelic presence that came in and spoke with me for like 2 hours, explaining to me that this is all part of healing those family cycles that have plagued my family for a lot of years. And I'm somebody that came to Earth to break cycles, to heal and transcend, and to move forward to new beginnings, right? So the next thing I know, I have light workers from all over the world contacting me. I have light workers from all different countries calling me on video chat. Why? Because my guides sent them to call me, because my angels asked them to. The messages that they sent to me were unbelievable to a normal human. By the time everything was all said and done yesterday, I understood clearly that I was making my situation much, much, much worse than it needed to be because I wasn't choosing peace. Instead of focusing on the act of what happened to my brother, I should have been focusing on the blessing that he is not suffering anymore. That's a blessing. I see that now. He's come to me many, many times in the last month, even when I was in Sedona and everything. And this whole time, he has maintained with every message I've received from him, he's maintained, I'm okay. Please don't worry about me. I'm okay. And yesterday, I finally was able to truly, truly, truly work through that darkness. I didn't push it aside. I did not push to shove it down. I literally went, okay, let's do this. Let's work through this. And the more I just surrendered and said, I am love, I am light, I am peace, I am joy, I am compassion, I am love, the more the energies began to transmute within myself, within my soul, within my being. We are only as light as we are dark, guys. The darker we let that journey go, the further we go into the dark. We are opening our channels, guys, so that we can hold more light. Sometimes we have to go into the darkness to see the light. We need to stop being afraid of our darkness, afraid of that icky stuff, because it's a part of who we are. It's our shadow. And right now, as a collective, humanity is working through our shadows, right? We're drawing lines in the sand and we're making unique boundaries so that as we go forward into 2018, guess what? We're going to be so closely linked with a new and different way of thinking, of being. And this new and different way of thinking and being, there's so much more light in that. So when we feel it deeply, we'll be deeply feeling how loved we are, right? And the greater we can transcend and work through that darkness, the more we will shift, the more we will transcend, and we will come out a butterfly, and we're going to take our spiritual wings and we are going to fly. So, those who are going through dark night of the soul right now, even though you didn't think you would, understand that you are going through that for a very distinct reason. Learn the new way to see things. We need to learn a new way of seeing things, a new way of being. We need to let go of the addiction to negativity that's programmed into our minds. Because what happens to us as humans is because of the programming that we have had in our minds for so long that when something happens, we automatically go to the dark, automatically start doubting ourselves and doubting our life. We start doubting who we are. And it's a scary place to be. Yes, we do have to go to the darkness sometimes in order to bring in more light, but we shouldn't stay there. It's really important to know that you have the power to change that within yourself. You have the power of the divine right in here. You don't need anyone else to tell you what's wrong with you or what is happening with you. You already know. It's kind of like how the rattlesnake grows up, and a baby rattlesnake is going to get you with his rattle, and the poison's going to go all over the damn place, right? But as they grow and as they learn to control the poison a little bit better, right? So right here, right now, today, I am asking you to learn how to control your poison. Stop poisoning yourselves. Stop stinging yourselves. Because there's so much beautiful, divine, loving light on this planet. If we can just flip the script and change our perspectives into the understanding, into the knowing without a doubt who and what we are and how powerful we are and how we can change the world. Each one of us with our unique soul blueprint can and will change the world if we can believe we can. And this has nothing to do with religion. This has nothing to do with culture. It has nothing to do with any of that. We are all human. We all came here to paint our canvas. I keep talking about painting our canvas, you guys. It's time to paint your canvas. What do you want to create? And you need to stop worrying about how other people view you. It's all in here. These unique soul lessons that we go through, it is because we have to. The more we go through it, the more we deal with it, the more we feel it, the more we just truly go, you know what? I get it. I understand it. Now I'm going to transcend from it. And if you have that attitude, no matter what's happening in your life, you will find the light. You will feel it, you will heal it, and you'll return to love quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker. And the more you return to love, the more you stay aligned with your divinity. The more you can stay aligned with your divinity, the more you're in your truth. When you're in your truth, love radiates from you, no matter where you go. And every step you take on the planet, you heal her too. So, you guys, as these dark night of the souls are coming up here, hang on, be patient. Allow yourself to release the old links and ties and wounds from all of your life. Allow yourself to release all of it, to heal all of it. Sometimes it takes a while to do, and that's okay. But as many of us now are changing the world within ourselves, like I said, that flows out and it follows to the rest of humanity. And then humanity feels that, and the collective is raised the vibration. Seek your own light within your own soul. You will find the answers, you guys. And if you truly are brave and you truly believe without a shadow of a doubt in your divine guidance and in your team of guides and angels, just like yesterday, I was shown so strongly what truth was. I will never ever doubt as long as I live again. So some things to think about when you are rebirthing and restructuring who and what you are for this new year. Feel it deeply within. Stop looking to others to answer you what's important for you, because you already know. Okay, you've come a long way. Let's keep going, guys. Let's change the world. We came here to change the world. I came here to change the world through grace. And my mom's name is Grace. So there you go. I was born on 5/5. So change. Feel it deeply within yourselves. I love you. God bless you. Have a great day.